What's up, y'all? I felt like there was no reason to do whole intro. We not panicking though. It's still too early, but man, let's go, CJ. Come on, CJ. Sorry if that's way too loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. He gonna break one of those this year. I'm telling y'all. Man, let's get a quick three. Welcome to the Chalupa and Friends halftime live stream. Welcome to the halftime live stream. Sound off in the chat. How you feeling about the first half? How was your week? Do you think we need to work on tackling drills? I trust this defense, though. I trust Guidry. I think they're going to make the halftime adjustments. We'll get into all that, but I'm trying to stay as calm as I can be. But I'm not very calm on game days, but I'm trying to stay as calm as I can be. I still believe in this team. Come on. Give me the pass interference. How much can you? Thank you. Like how much can you do to a receiver before it's borderline a criminal charge? I'm just saying. How much can you do before it's assault legally? Not just a football play anymore. I like that IMAX. We do need this type of adversity, especially to open up ACC play. Hey, what's happening, Brody? Welcome to the halftime live stream. If you're new to the stream, please hit that like button and subscribe. We do these every week. I've got two guests joining me today, and I will give one of them is about to join, and I will give him an intro. Hey, Ellen in the building. Hashtag don't be a cow. Only a few people will understand that. That's from an older stream. Yeah, man, my blood pressure's high. Greg. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yes, bro. That was the most easiest pass interference I've ever seen in my life. Nice, right up the middle. Got that. I don't mind going across the middle there because you got the timeout. I don't think that needed to be explained. I think we all understood that. I don't know if you have enough time for two plays. I don't know if you have enough time for two plays here. Why does he have to yank you into the huddle, bro? This is a critical situation right now. I don't know. Oh, I don't know if there's enough time for two plays. What are we doing? You're not going to burn it. When y'all see me tweet out fam and that's all I tweet, picture that's what I'm doing. I'm just Hey, we got automatic Andy here though. We're good. We got automatic Andy here. Best kicker in the country. Let's go. If it ain't from 65, I ain't worried. Let's go, Andy. Andy got this leg. Stop worrying about the pink shoes, bro. Focus on that leg. Come on. Nailed it. Let's go. Best kicker in the nation. Give me all that. Yes. He's the best kicker in the country. Nobody's shocked about this. All right. Welcome to the Chalupa and Friends halftime live stream. Let me know in the chat. How's everybody feeling? Of course, just like every week, I will have two guests joining me on the live stream, as always. How's everybody feeling about the first half? Obviously not what we wanted, but sound off. 24-17 going into the half. Not exactly what we wanted from the defense. Let me know how you're feeling. What are your thoughts? So we do have two guests on today's live stream. As always, I like to have guests. It's called Chalupa and Friends. It's not just about me, but it's about my friendos as well. Today's guest, who is actually a first-time guest, and I want y'all to make sure you go follow him as well. I do have everyone's Twitter in the chat, but the reason I want you guys to go follow him is because he is one of the best when it comes to doing Miami Hurricanes film breakdowns. Especially after we get recruits. He's one of the best. He'll break down the film, let you know the positives and the negatives. One of the best on Twitter at draft analysis and just giving you the ins and outs of the game. I feel like guys like this just help the fan base understand why someone's committed or why the coaching staff likes this sort of player. That is a very long way for me to say he's one of my favorite follows. Give it up for JMP. Let me make sure I actually do bring him in. Jeremy Marks-Peltz, how's it going, bro?
Chalupa, it is great to be on with you. First time.
Welcome to the Chalupa and Friends halftime live stream. And his Twitter is down in the description. Go give him a follow. If you're new, please smash that like button. Let me bring on my second guest, my brother from another mother, my big bro from out there in them Carolinas. And one fourth now, I want to say third, but it's four of us now on the You Heard podcast. Joey, whatever today, it's not it. He changed it.
What's going on,
whatever. Man? Hey, the reason that's funny is it's Joey Kool-Aid, usually. Okay, guys, we're going to get right into it. Let's go ahead and start with you, Joe. Give me your first thoughts and impressions on the first half. Canes down 24-17. How we feeling?
Very uninspired first half, man. I don't think the offense or the defense is playing hard. Defense looks lazy. They're not tackling. They're not running to the ball. They're giving up outside contain. It just looks sloppy. The offense, the receivers are not getting off the press. We can't run the ball. And we knew that would bite us in the ass at some point. It's doing that now. So very uninspiring, man.
I agree with everything that was just said. Jeremy, JMP, how we feeling about the first half?
I mean, this is the type of stuff where this scares me, similar to it has a Georgia Tech feel from last year, the ACC opener, 4-0 start. And look, I think this team, everyone would agree, is much better than that 2023 team. And especially they have, a Heisman candidate quarterback in Cam Ward. But the short week scared me, where you get sloppiness, you get another team throwing everything at the book. You get the ACC opener after, USF game where they were, maybe a little overhyped. And I mean, there's a lot of things that Miami needs to clean up. But guys, I'd start with the tackling. We were done with the Manny Diaz era tackling and maybe a little bit of the first year with Mario. I mean, how many plays have we seen where there's been minimum one or two just poor arm tackles, poor angles? It's sloppy with a capital S.
It's almost, I want to say, like, this is not my defense. This isn't the defense I've been seeing for 4 weeks. Just on effort alone, we've seen this defense swarm. We've seen them not make these mistakes. They're getting penned inside. They're giving up outside containment. I think these are all things that can be fixed at halftime. A little bit of it looks like energy. They don't look like the same team right now. I think whatever halftime speech happened last week, I think Mario needs to have the same. I think we got to stop shooting ourselves in the feet. I think when the plays are there, we have to make the plays. There's been way too many, I feel like, missed opportunities and just plays not being made, specifically on the defensive side. A lot of these plays are 3-yard gains, 4-yard gains if you break down and you make the tackle. They're not doing anything special here. The busted coverage was because someone got selfish. Just stay disciplined. It's not like this team is bigger, stronger, or faster. We are shooting ourselves in the foot. Joe, you mentioned the running game. Jeremy, has that watching this team for the past 4 weeks, and this is your first time on the stream, so I'm curious to get your thoughts on it. What are your thoughts on the lack of efficiency from Miami on the ground so far this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think the sample size going into this game was probably a little too small to get concerned. But I do think, like, people have, they were saying when it got to 21-14, what's Cam Ward going to do now? And I mean, the answer needed to be, and still needs to be, they need to get the run game going. Here's the thing, and, Damian Martinez, the one thing, I guess there's a couple things I would say. One is, I do think, sometimes we undervalue when guys show up in the summer and are not with the team, throughout the full entirety of the offseason. And Martinez, of course, obviously transferred, got him in the portal in the summer. But he's a different type of running back. This is a different type of scheme than Martinez ran at Oregon State. I mean, everything was under center, a lot of outside zone. And, I think he's a good running back, but that was my one question, is whether he would fit into this shotgun heavy, kind of one cut, be more decisive. You don't run with a head of steam. So I think that I'm a little, I don't know, concerned is the right word, guys, but just, Martinez may not necessarily be this, bell cow running back that we thought. But I mean, they definitely, the concerns we had about their run game, especially on first down, I mean, they've come to fruition here in this first half.
Joe, if there is an answer, is there an answer you've seen, Joe, from watching? Is it scheme? Is it the guy in the backfield? Is it what are you seeing? And is it something that you feel like is a larger concern that's not as simple as plug a different guy in or scheme it different? I know there's a concern you voiced about the split, so I'd like you to dive into what you think maybe is the issue with the running game so far.
Yeah, we've expressed concern about the running game from the beginning. I think it's everything that you may have mentioned, because you can see the running backs run differently, right? So
yes,
the way Damian Martinez runs is not like Fletch or AJ Allen, where they just hit it. Damian Martinez is a patient runner, but I don't know that that's conducive to this style, this system of running, so they're gonna have to figure out a little bit. They're gonna have to get a little bit more creative in the running game. You know what I mean? They've tried to hit screens, which is an extension of the running game, try to get the short passing game going, but VT's taking that away. They're taking the screen game away, man. So they're really making Miami one-dimensional. And being one-dimensional has worked over the first 4 games. It's not going to work now. So they have to establish the running game somehow.
And I would just say, by the way, real quick, VT is daring Miami to run. I mean, they've got light boxes. I mean, they've got a lot of 6-man boxes. This isn't like other teams like USF last week that were overloading the box. Those premium run looks too high, 6-man boxes, those are there.
Yep.
I mean, you've got 3 for 12 for Fletch, 5 for 12 for Martinez. The run game does bother me because, like we keep saying, even if we're a better football team, I'm not shaking in my boots. I think they can tighten this up and get this W. But 30,000-foot view, you're going to need to win a game on the ground this year. The running game is worth 2 dubs. It is in a season where you're trying to do something special. If you're trying to put together an undefeated season, those are not all blowouts. Special teams get you 1. Your defense, somebody on defense who is a role player probably get you 1. That 3rd or 4th receiver gets you another win. There's these little things. It's that luck. It's that. And sometimes the fundamentals and the basics win you the extra 2 or 3. It's tackling, it's blocking, it's running the football. The tackling, that's something we have not seen this year. I don't know if that's energy, if the energy wasn't high enough, if guys are overcompensating right now. Joe, are you a bit surprised about what we've seen from the defense so far in the first half?
They're tackling scared. They're tackling like they don't want to hit Tootin, like they don't want to hit the quarterback, Drones. They're
Tackling
just
around the
diving.
head. Like, I'm like, you're not,
Yeah.
or they're diving.
They're diving. They're not running through the ball carrier. It's very uninspiring, man. I don't I don't know. I'm very surprised. Yes, I'm very surprised.
Well, what about you, Jeremy? You feel like this is a bit of a shock seeing the defense, and I'm not trying to say the defense has been awful, but they have not played up to the standard that we've seen this defense play. Is that a bit of a shock to you, seeing a Virginia Tech offense that, I'm no disrespect to Virginia Tech because they are executing, but it's not an offense that on paper scares you a ton?
Yeah, no, it is a surprise. And I think you guys are right. To me, I don't see it as a lack of energy as much as it's, I think you both have mentioned it. Guys are just not doing their jobs. They're overcompensating. That 55-yard touchdown run. I know, Kiko missed the tackle, but
Popo got pinned inside.
Yeah, Popo got pinned inside. The run fits have not been good. Alston has now missed, 2 plays, where he had the whiff on the sack that turned into a touchdown, the busted coverage. He was in position to make, it would have been a tough tackle, but in position to at least spill that reverse to the outside. And it's also the guys that are not making plays. I know Powell has the interception, but he has missed a bunch of tackles, and he has looked, just like Joey said, like somebody that doesn't want to necessarily get too physical out there. Maybe the hardest tackle in the first half was Cam Ward after throwing that interception, shoving that dude out of bounds.
And I know we don't like to say, oh, this player would have done this player would have done this. But to the comment earlier about the safeties don't really seem like they're coming downhill with any aggression. There's been a couple plays where I'm thinking, so when we were telling y'all last year that when you lose Cam, you don't just lose we all love Cam Kitchens. It's that sureness of, all right, if he coming downhill, that's probably an open field tackle. And yes, it's still 2nd and 6, but it's 2nd and 6. It's not a 15-yard gain. I think they just got to cool down. I think they just have to lock in, get back to the fundamentals, man. Break down, chop your feet, and make the plays. This team does not scare me on offense on paper. I think we've got the horses. I think people have kind of learned that if you can get a free release, if you can orchestrate a bit of a pick out of your slot guy, I think there's a little bit of a weak spot in that secondary with that sort of route combination. But other than that, Virginia Tech isn't doing anything special. They're just executing, and they're not shooting themselves in the foot. So one thing I love to do, let's try to end this on a coaching note, on maybe a more somber note. I like to assign both of my guests as the coordinators, and I like to ask you guys, what kind of halftime adjustments are you going to make? So, Joe, I gave you a defensive question earlier, so we're going to let you be Shannon Dawson. JMP, you're going to be Lance Guidry. We'll start with you. What adjustments are you making at halftime to help Miami come out and get this W?
So, do you want me to start, or?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I think there's a couple things. If I'm Coach Guidry, number one, I'm asking my team, if you are not in position to make a one-on-one tackle, then spill your defender to where you can get help. Rally around the ball, more sound fundamental tackling, which is more, I know that's not a scheme adjustment as much as that's an individual, maybe a mindset adjustment. And then the other thing is, I think, you need to be a little more creative with the blitz packages. They did bring pressure in the first half, but I think you need to bring pressure from different angles. I really like they had a rush 3, drop 8 look at one point that, caused a near interception. So you got to get creative and make it harder for drones.
I like it. All right, Dawson, what adjustments are we making coming out of half?
Yeah, I'm going to challenge my O-line, and I'm coming out physical in the second half. I'm not going east and west. I'm not throwing screens, and I'm not throwing swing passes. We're going east. We're going north and south. We're coming out. We're going to be physical. We're going to push them around, and we're going to see if they're really about that in the second half.
I like to see offensively as well. let's try to get some of the other guys involved. We haven't seen Zay Horton. We've seen he's got a high number of snaps today, but we haven't seen him targeted much. So I'd like to try to get the ball to Zay Horton a bit on the outside. I feel like the team needs a spark. And we saw that last year a few times where he was that spark guy. He was that guy that coming off the bench would provide, I'm not saying a 60-yard touchdown, but an exciting 20-yard catch, a 30-yard catch, something to loosen. They don't seem like they're playing as loose and as we've seen them in the past couple of weeks. So I like to see a player like that, like Chris Johnson's return. We need a spark from somewhere. Feel like coming out in the second half, it'd be nice. Justin Scott's been playing a lot on the inside, getting some penetration, a sack, from somebody. I feel like that could really help just the momentum, man. I want to see more energy. It's not that their energy is poor or anything. It just does not feel like the same team we've seen these past couple of weeks. All right, fellas. Joe, this time I'm starting with you. Final prediction on the game. What is going to end like, man? What we looking like coming out of this thing? Real quick, I think Misha at the start might help. I think that's something they might start to think about. They may need to think about it. Even Zaquan, or I think we need to mix it up in the secondary a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 38-24 Miami. I don't think. I'm gonna say Virginia Tech doesn't score in the second half.
Let's go. Is that because I made you Guidry? I didn't make you Guidry. I made you Dawson.
Yep.
Hey, they pitched the second half shutout last week too. We do know that Guidry said it himself. He's big on halftime adjustments if they're necessary. P, what's our final score? What's it going to be when it's all said and done?
I'm a little bit more of a worrier and a pessimist than you guys. I'm going to say 38-31 Miami. I still think they get the win. I think it's going to be a tight one, but let's not make this Georgia Tech part 2. Let's come out of the second half and let's show who the better team is.
I'm going to go 41-31. I think the offense is going to turn up a little bit. I haven't been in love with what I've seen from the defense, so I would not be shocked if Virginia Tech can get one more score on the board. But I do think the offense is going to make the adjustments in the second half. The guy behind center is an ultimate competitor. And if you're telling me that we don't have a running game in this second half and Cam is looking at his teammates thinking it's on him, I think I'm okay with them odds. I think one has it in between the ears that if he knows it's going to be on him. I do agree with a few of the comments where maybe make the safe play here or there, a little less hero ball. But again, guys like Cam, you kind of have to let them do their thing. It's hard to rein them in because that's when they're playing on instinct. That's when he's playing like him. You don't want him thinking too much. I would just tell one, just lock in, just do what you're doing, lock in, protect the football. Obviously, I do want to see, like Joe said, I would challenge my offensive line. I want 4 yards on the ground at least on first downs. Like I want push, fellas. Like this is not a mirror ball led offensive line from what I've seen in the first half. So I have no doubts that they're going to make that change and that adjustment. I think we come out on top. Thank you guys again for coming on the halftime live stream. Both of my guests' Twitters and their YouTubes are in the description. Just click those. Give them both a follow. If you're new to the halftime live stream, please click the like button and subscribe. We are here every week breaking down the first half. Sound off in the chat what you think the end of the final score is going to be. Final words. JMP, you first. Final thoughts.
Let's see. Miami averaged more than 2.3 yards per carry, but I like your guys' optimism. I think this is a different Canes team, and I think they win a tough second half.
Final thoughts, Joe. What we got?
Yeah, stop bullshitting, man. You asked them to pack the rock. You asked to pack the rock, right? So let's do it. Stop bullshitting. Let's go.
What's the Mario gift? No more bullshit.
Yeah, no more bullshit.
somebody on Twitter cue up the Mario gift right now. Yeah. No more bullshit. Let's go. I think we come out on top, but they got to play Miami football. Thank you guys again for coming on the halftime live stream. Cannot wait to experience this second half. We all going to be on Twitter. Make sure you follow my guests. They're in the description. We out.
Peace.